Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. So in this video, I will be discussing about an introduction to post-colonialism as a literary theory. So let's start. Now what is post-colonialism? So post-colonialism is the historical period representing the aftermath of Western colonialism. It reclaims and rethinks the history and agency of people subordinated under various forms of imperialism. It is a literature by people from formerly colonized countries. It addresses the role of literature in perpetuating and challenging what post-colonial critic Edward Said refers to as cultural imperialism. Chinua Achebe's work focused on the colonization of Nigeria, his homeland, in Things Fall Apart. He focuses specifically on the struggles that Nigerians faced as the British expanded their control. The ultimate goal of post-colonialism is accounting for and combating the residual effects of colonialism on cultures. It is not simply concerned with salvaging past worlds, but learning how the world can move beyond this period together towards a place of mutual respect. So post-colonial theory has influenced the way we read text, the way we understand national and transnational histories, and the way we understand the political implication of our own knowledge as scholar. So there are some certain characteristics of post-colonial literature as well. The first one is meta-narrative. Now what is meta-narrative? Meta-narrative is a grand story that is self-legitimizing, like the narrative of historical meaning, experience and knowledge. It is the big stories like World War and religious issues, etc. The second characteristic is colonialism. So colonialism is a policy to acquire full or partial political control over another country, or acquiring or occupying it with settler and exploiting it economically. The third characteristic is colonial discourse. It is a discourse that produces knowledge about colonized people in order to legitimate colonial domination. The fourth characteristic is rewriting history. It selects or present past event in a way that suits one's particular purposes. The fifth characteristic is decolonization struggle. Now what is decolonization? Decolonization is the process by which colonies become independent of the colonizing country. It was gradual and peaceful for some British colonies, largely settled by expatriates, but violent for others, where native rebellions were energized by nationalism. The sixth characteristic is nationhood and nationalism. Now what is nationhood? Nationhood is basically a large group of people united by common language, culture or economic life is called nationhood, while nationalism is basically an identification with one's own nation and support for its interest, especially to the exclusion or detriment of the interest of other nation. Now what is valorization of cultural identity? So the valorization of cultural identity, the term valorization is derived from the concept of value. Valorization in cultural heritage refers to adding value, giving value or increasing value of a heritage resource. In this cultural heritage resource have values for humanity, for the local population or for some groups of people. So these are some characteristics of post-colonial literature. Now let's proceed towards purpose of post-colonial theory or post-colonial literature as well. Now there are some purpose or some key points about the purpose of post-colonial literature. So as a post-colonial theory, it deals with an epistemology, ethics and political science. Now what is epistemology? Epistemology is a study of knowledge, its nature and verifiability, while ethics is a moral philosophy, and the political science concerned with affairs of citizenry or citizens. So post-colonial theory as an epistemology, as an ethics and as a political science, the field of post-colonial addresses the matters that constitutes the post-colonial identity of a decolonized people, which derives from some key points. So these points are the colonizers' generation of cultural knowledge about the colonized people, and how that Western cultural knowledge was applied to subjugate a non-European people into a colony of the European mother country, which after initial invasion was affected by means of the cultural identity of colonizer and colonized. So these are the points in the epistemology, ethics and political science as a field of post-colonial theory. So another important, or the second point of purpose, or the purpose of post-colonial literature is post-colonial is aimed at disempowering such theories including intellectual and linguistics, social and economics, by means of which colonialists perceive, understand and know the world. The third purpose is that post-colonial theory thus establishes intellectual spaces for subaltern peoples to speak for themselves in their own voices and thus produce cultural discourses of philosophy, language, society and economy, balancing the imbalanced us and them binary power relationship between the colonist and the colonial subjects. So in this video, we discuss about the introduction of post-colonial theory, and we also discuss some of the characteristics of post-colonial literature, including the purpose of post-colonialism. So that's all from my side. If you have any queries, you can ask me in the comment section. Please like, subscribe and share my channel. Thank you for watching.